Good morning and welcome over to the Max and Occy channel. First of all, I want to start by saying thank you so much for coming across, or if by some completely random chance this is the first video you've stumbled across of mine. I'm Max. Occy, my dog, is on the way. He's in Canada, but he's going to be back in Australia with me soon. And this is actually build episode number 19 of the van build that I'm doing. The first previous 18 episodes were on the Max and Lee channel, my old YouTube channel. And with that, I am going to make a playlist so you can see the videos right through. Because if you have just started here on the build episodes, you're kind of cheating because you're on the home run now. Build episode 19 is one of the last few there will be with the actual build out because the van is almost done. Today I am going to... Oh, there's a sheep stampede. Today, the outer cabinet doors are finally arriving and I'm hoping to start getting them attached. And then after that, it will be putting on the countertop. The van, I'm so excited for how it's coming up, but I'm also a little bit nervous that is it all going to come together at the end? I'm not sure. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it. Right, finally ready to start cooking with gas and getting these cupboards organized. Now, I'm sure at this point some of you are going to be slightly disappointed. Maybe you're hoping for a pop of color with the cabinetry and not more white, but I do have a vision and have a plan and there is color coming. Bear with me. But for now, I'm taking all of these bad boys to Drew's back to the workshop there, and I'm going to install them there so I can get some advice from Drew as I kind of go. Whew, it is getting hot in here, which I am loving. I actually should turn on the fans, get some air circulating. But yesterday didn't really get much progress done, just kind of figuring out the best pattern to start attaching everything. Essentially, Drew told me that the way that's best for attaching all your outer cabinetry is to attach all the fixed panels first, and then that's what you use to set up all your gaps between your drawers and everything, so you know all the lines around them look really even. Now, in one of the previous videos, I had someone asking me how I do the stencil lines, for example, how I, got the shape for the overheads. I've used a couple of different techniques in the past. You guys might remember that tool that I made with where I drilled the hole through and used a pencil. Well, Drew's just taught me a new one that worked out really well. So I wanted to show you that. If you look at this end, I've just stenciled it and had it so it ends really nicely against the wall there. And the important part about Drew's technique, which is one thing that did confuse me, so I'll show you guys how to do it, is that if you look at this end of it, the end that sits proud outside the cabinetry, it needed to sit 18 mil out of the cabinetry because that allows when the drawers sit on there, it'll all sit nice and flush. So what confused me was how you get that exact 18 mil measurement. And essentially what you do, this is the starting point. See here, I haven't cut it yet. So what I've done is I've ordered a piece that's longer than it needs to be. So the next step is then to measure how far out it currently is and then subtract that measurement from 18 mil. So at the moment it's 54. So 54 minus 18 is 36. So 36 is the size of the piece I need to use as my stencil piece. Okay, so the board is pressed tight against the wall, it's into position. I have my guide, and so what I do is I rest the guide against the wall and then use the pencil That's actually pretty good now. And that is bang on 18 mils. Perfect. So after a lot of fiddling around with these, they're starting to line up really nice, and I'm up to the very last one. So I wanted to show you the process. Earlier on, as you've already seen, I drilled out all the holes for these hinges, and the Blum hinges are really cool in that to go in these, it doesn't require any screwing or anything. You just push these in, and they're kind of tight to get in initially. So you just push them in so they're flat, and then push this down, and that's now locked in place, that hinge. So once you've got both of those in, all you have to do is put the counterpart in that attaches to your cabinetry. And the way that you line those up, I'm really lucky that Drew had all these tools, because otherwise I pretty much would have had to buy them. But so now, for me to be able to get this up, I'll just have to move my Wi-Fi antennae out of the way. You put this on the roof, and the key is to have, so this is a 2mm spacer, and that's the gaps I'm putting between all the doors. So I push that firm flush up against it, hold this in place, and then it's a bit awkward, but you gotta then drill the So if I bring you in closer, you can now see that's left 4 really neat holes that line up. And once again, for the other part of the system, this just has an arrow on it which way it needs to point. You just line it up with the holes, push it in. And when you tighten the screws up, it just makes the plastic parts in there expand, which holds it in place. And then it's just a matter of lining up these ones, clicking it on, so they're both now clicked on and attached. That will now close. I'll still need to install some supports to hold them upright, but otherwise, bloody beautiful, mate. It is a bit more brisk this morning, and it's been a bit of a rough start because I realised I'm out of coffee, which is never good, but I am almost bloody done with the drawers. I'm going to tackle the rest of them here before heading to Drew's again later. I don't want to overstay my welcome there, so do a bit of work here that I can get done. And yeah, I just wanted to say, you guys can probably tell watching the last couple of videos, and I guess with the length of time in between them, I'm just very ready for the van to be done. So I'm sorry if I haven't documented the last kind of steps as well as I have in previous ones, but really I'm just excited to get back out on the road. This farm has been amazing, but I'm ready to get back to the beach and start exploring again. I hope you guys are excited for that too. And damn, I cannot wait for Occy to get here. You know, this has just been pushed out and pushed out. The current date we have is by far the most secure date that we've been given, and it's October 13th. We have a reservation at the quarantine facility. We have tentative flights locked in. So, you know, it's a couple of weeks away. I'm just gonna really try and get this van done by the time Occy gets here. He has 10 days in quarantine, and then we can hit the frog and toad. All right, I've got the heater on in the van. I'm gonna get in there, finish up these drawers, and just listen to a bit of music and enjoy it.
We all fall down, we get banged up, but the scars show what we're made of. Don't you look back, lift your head up, shake the dust off, tell me what you're made of. I can't hear you, I can't hear you, breath in our lungs, beating our hearts. Lift up the voice, you got something to say.
Well, my back is aching from being on my knees for so long, but it is finally done. They're all in position. I'm pretty bloody happy with it. It's time to put on the latches. One thing that in hindsight I should have done differently, if you see this line from this one, it then drops and then goes on this, and that's because that was just lack of foresight by me, because I made these sizes up and then I made these sizes up individually, and what I didn't realize is if I had this one's 219 mil and this one's 214, if I had just matched this one to 219 and made this a little smaller, then it would have really looked nice and lined up with that line. But it's something that hopefully will only bug me. All right, time to get the latches on, but you know, they're going very smooth.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
It feels like a long time coming, but I finally got the door latches on, or started to get them on. That is a thing of beauty. And see, it holds it closed, so when I'm driving and everything, can't open it all, and then to open it, tell you what, Brett from RV Labs has done a good job there, and very happy with the stainless steel finish, a bit better than the matte black. Good morning, it is bloody brisk this morning, and I am going to be heading back to Drew's workshop because today I want to cut down the countertops. Mine are currently 900 wide, it's just raw timber, so I want to cut it to size, then, you know, shape it and everything, then I'll treat it and they will be good to go. However, as you can imagine, now that I've got a lot of really nice shit in the van, I don't really want to damage it by hauling big bits of timber. So for a first for the van, it is going to be towing. The van actually has 3.5 tons. Excuse you, Galar. The van actually has the 3.5 ton towing capacity, so the potential is endless for what I could haul behind it if I wanted to on a big trip as well as the 3.5 ton loading capacity in the back. All right, let's hope this rain holds off at least for today, and I'll see you guys at the workshop. Now remember, that's not attached, that piece there.
Just slide it in.
So I'm just resin filling any of the cracks and indents, and what that does is it serves to protect them but also stops water getting in and making those cracks get bigger. But what I also like that it does is it actually brings out the imperfections and the knots and everything and makes them stand out when you give it a nice natural finish like I'm going to. I'm really excited for how these countertops are going to come up, and they just add that kind of element that the van needed with, you know, so much white being in it otherwise. I want to say another huge thank you to Drew for letting me use his workspace. Drew, you're a legend. Well, shit. It is Friday afternoon already. The epoxy is still drying. That's going to take good 24 hours to cure, although I did like the surfboard smell it gave off. I really wanted this video to finish, or this episode to finish with like a really finished kitchen. Unfortunately, it's just not going to get there. Not if I want to get this video up anytime soon, which I really do. I hope you all have enjoyed the double drop of 2 videos and the fact that this one's on the Max and Occy channel. Please let me know in the comments below. Please give it a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the kitchen as well. I'm sure there's some people out there that are a little bit jealous, especially if they've got a van that... There's not many vans that have this big a kitchen or this amount of storage. I am super pumped with the way it's working out, and I'm excited for the next couple of changes because they are the finishing touches. That is, you know, that'll probably be the name of the next episode, because I'll be putting the sink in, the cooktop, and the tiles. That's my next job. I'm pumped about the tiles. They're super cool. So I'm interested to hear what you all think about that. That'll be in the next episode. I'll also be tackling the bed/couch tops. And then that's all the big jobs done. I'm still trying to source a swivel seat. Some of you are probably wondering why I don't have that yet. It's been a huge pain in the ass to source one here. I'm working on that. The fridge drawer, I've got something going on with that, but that should be sorted pretty soon. Otherwise, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I have to say it really makes me happy thinking that I'm almost done. This has been such a bigger mission than I thought it would be. And I'm so excited to get back out on the road, get back to the beach, have Occy join me. And, you know, really, I hope you guys are excited for that too, because that's the way this channel's heading, and it's not far off now. Now, before I do say goodbye, I do realise that last episode before this double, I left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger in regards to the toilet and whether it would fit in the bathroom. I probably should have tied that off with the loose ends. I forgot. Let's have a quick look at it now. Alright, you'll have to excuse old mate mowing his lawn for the 10th time next door this week. Do any of you guys have neighbours that mow their lawn that often? Or are you one of those people? It's bloody annoying. Please stop. Okay. Now, in terms of the toilet, now, I think when it happened in the last episode and I showed you that it wouldn't fit through the door, I think some people thought it was a bit of a joke, like, oh, he's planned this. I haven't. It's a bit of a mistake, to be honest, and it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass because there was no way I was going to rip out that door and redo it after all the work it took. However, it's not quite as bad as I thought, and the reason being is, of course, this toilet, the way you empty it, so when I empty the pee, it's not an issue at all. When I empty the poop, the toilet is designed so it'll be fixed to the floor that I can just slide off. I wouldn't be putting my hands inside that part, but this top just slides off like that and slides back on in the same fashion. Anyway, I'm sure I'll get better at that. But it just means that when I do empty it, I don't have to empty it in the bathroom cubicle. That wouldn't be great. But I do have to take the top half to be able to get them out. Then they go out fine. The other option is I can take off unscrew one of these side things each time, and if I do that, then it fits. So I guess the end result is I can fit the toilet in. It's not an absolute disaster, but it is a little bit annoying. So I wish I had thought a little bit ahead with that one. Don't make the same mistake I did. I'll see you all in the next episode.